Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Right. In this short presentation, using New Britain palm oil as an example, I'd like to illustrate how PNG agribusiness can use a sustainability-focused approach to access challenging but premium global markets and put PNG in a position as a world leader in sustainable agricultural production. Okay, New Britain palm oil is operating in 5 locations in Papua New Guinea and 1 in the Solomon Islands. New Britain palm oil was established in West New Britain just over 50 years ago, and it has now become PNG's largest palm oil producer, representing about 83% of national production. It's also the largest employer in the country after the government, with almost 25,500 permanent employees on the payroll. And these are not temporary employees or linked to contractors and subcontractors. These are full-time employees. And of this, only 106 are actually expatriates. That's 0.4%, the rest being PNG nationals. New Britain palm oil is also the country's largest beef producer, with over 26,500 head of cattle. We're the only sugar producer in the country through our operation at Ramu Sugar. We're also the only high-grade ethanol producer in the country, again through Ramu Sugar. We are a significant producer of sustainable power through biomass utilization and methane capture. And an example is in West New Britain, we have 2 biogas plants that provide our own power needs, but excess is fed into the public electricity supply and provides about 30% of Kimby's power. And we've got another 2 plants in the pipeline for West New Britain. New Britain palm oil is also a global leader in the production of certified sustainable palm oil, or CSPO. Smallholders are an extremely important part of New Britain palm oil's upstream operations. We support nearly 17,500 smallholder farms, many of which have multiple co-resident families, and an estimated total population of around 150,000. Smallholders represent about 1/3 of our crop production supply base. If we can look at the impacts in relation to supporting local economy, and using West New Britain operation as an example, last year palm oil exports channeled 38.5 million kina per month into the West New Britain economy. This is the economic lifeline that supports the province, creating a large multiplier effect that provides opportunities and establishes and sustains the local SMEs and larger local businesses. This slide I'll skip because it was covered by ADB this morning. Right, if I can now turn to palm oil and sustainability. Many would argue that palm oil is intrinsically sustainable, even though palm oil supplies over 36% of global oils and fats. It only uses 5.5% of the land cultivated for that global supply. For a given area of land, oil palm can produce 10 times more oil than other leading oilseed crops. Palm oil also uses significantly less fertilizers and pesticides. So all in all, things are looking pretty good for PNG and its palm oil. Or is it? The global reputation of palm oil is not so comfortable. Anti-palm oil lobbyists and the developed world public in general, reacting to clear environmental and social abuses in some countries in Southeast Asia, have had a major negative impact on all palm oil, whether sustainably produced or not. the commercial consequences are enormous, and long-term commercial viability depends on addressing these market concerns. Excepting a small amount of oil going into Switzerland, all of New Britain palm oil is sold into the EU. The EU market is extremely sensitive to the issues flagged in the previous slide. All European and other overseas buyers of PNG's palm oil demand assurances that what they're buying is independently certified, sustainably produced palm oil. This is largely a risk mitigation necessary for most buyers in those markets. So why not export to developing economies that aren't bothered about sustainability credentials? Well, India is the largest global importer of palm oil and is showing a dramatic increase in Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil membership from its processors and traders. The same is happening in China. A main driver of this is the manufacturing of goods for export markets. So by 2020, CSPO usage is expected to be 100% in Europe, 50% in Malaysia and Indonesia, 30% in India, and 10% in China. So to the business case for committing to producing sustainable palm oil. Firstly, there are the premiums. New Britain palm oil received 33.8 million kina in premiums in 2017. To put this into a context, this is more than 4 times the total export value of PNG's rubber. There are trade preferences. For example, PNG currently has duty-free access to the European market through trade preferences built into the current PNG-EU Interim Economic Partnership Agreement. However, trade preferences never last forever. There will be erosion, and in the long term, preferences are likely to be strongly linked to verified sustainable production. There's market access. CSPO is now 20% of total global palm oil production and is increasing. PNG has an excellent reputation, and PNG palm oil is actively sought out by buyers. Financing. Accessing business financing is now strongly dependent on compliance with sustainability requirements, in particular compliance with what is often referred to as NDPE, which is no deforestation, no planting on peat, and no exploitation. PNG experience has clearly shown that responsible practices go hand in hand with profitability. I've been mentioning the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, so just as a clarification, New Britain Palm Oil was a founding member of RSPO and has been a key player in the continued development of this global sustainability standard. RSPO is a not-for-profit association that unites stakeholders from several sectors of the palm oil industry, including oil palm producers, palm oil processors and traders, consumer goods manufacturers, retailers, banks and investors, and environmental and social NGOs. RSPO's objective is to develop and implement credible global standards for sustainable palm oil. It has also become the benchmark for other standards. Upon passing annual certification and surveillance audits, the company is certified and able to trade CSPO for a premium. There are 3 classes of certified oil. Firstly, book and claim, in which certified oil volumes can be turned into certificates that can then be traded. Secondly, there's mass balance, which is a mix of physical CSPO with non-certified oil. And then the Holy Grail, which is segregated and identity-preserved CSPO. All of New Britain palm oil is certified as segregated or identity-preserved. This is a unique position considering that all smallholders are also included in the certified supply base. Given that we also have a closed supply chain with no chance of contamination, This led New Britain Palm Oil to establish its state-of-the-art refinery in Liverpool in the UK in 2010. For all the groundbreaking work that RSPO has done, most of our buyers and major retailers, especially in Europe, want strong assurances that build on and go beyond RSPO. In particular, they need to be able to claim that the palm oil in their products is fully traceable, it has not caused deforestation, there is no planting on peat soils, greenhouse gas accountability is practiced, that there is no social conflict, and human rights and cultural rights are respected. NBPOL is a significant proponent of these standards and was a founding member of the Palm Oil Innovation Group. It's a strategic partner with the Forest Trust, a member of the High Carbon Stock Approach, and is collaborating with the Rainforest Alliance to apply its sustainable agriculture standard to palm oil production in PNG. Many major buyers of palm oil also required verified adherence to their own responsible sourcing standards. The Rainforest Alliance Sustainable Agricultural Standard is well recognized amongst Western consumers and retailers through the green frog logo. It has a high level of brand credibility, and the standard is more commonly known for its certification of other commodities such as bananas, coffee, cocoa, and tea. NBPOL is working with Rainforest Alliance to implement and commercialize the standard for palm oil as a complement to the RSPO certification standard. Two of NBPOL's largest sites in West New Britain and at Ramu have already been certified, and we aim to have full certification coverage of all operations, including smallholders, in a 5-year rollout plan. Transparency in supporting claims of sustainability is increasingly important in the palm oil market, and in particular the European market. The Zoological Society of London has produced the Sustainable Palm Oil Transparency Toolkit, or SPOT, which assesses in detail 50 of the largest palm oil companies across the world against environmental and social best practice. New Britain Palm Oil is currently ranked as second in the world. NBPOL and PNG has an exemplary global reputation for the sustainability of its palm oil, and buyers want and trust oil from Papua New Guinea. In addition, the lead taken by the palm oil industry is fully aligned, even leading the way with regard to government policy direction through Vision 2050, the National Strategy for Responsible Sustainable Development, the Policy on Protection of Biodiversity, and the Climate Change Policy and associated international commitments. The move by government to develop a sustainable palm oil platform for Papua New Guinea is very encouraging. We need to work together to protect this reputation. And finally, a little plug. In May this year, the Rainforest Alliance, at its annual gala event in New York City, presented to New Britain Palm Oil an award for Sustainable Pathfinder. This is the first time a palm oil company has ever been honored with such an award. Thank you.